Hi everyone, thank you so much for choosing the monthly budget tracker application. So for today, I am going to explain unsaon siya paggamit and why this is a must or this will be helpful on your end on how we can budget or make sure our finances or expenses. So let me share my screen first and I'm going to show you the interface and the different parts of this application. This is just a simple application as you can see. So this is called Monthly Budget Tracker and this is beginner friendly. Meaning to say nga dili ni siya complicated and not overwhelming. It will only help you budget what is the standard or someone nga naga-start pa lang nga mag-figure out sa ilang finances and budgeting. So first is let's see the interface. So we can see here na ay option or na ay button reset for new month. Meaning to say that after the end of the month, humana ka sa imong budget, humana na gasto ang imong mga kwarta and you're going to start a budget for another month. You can just click this para ma-reset siya, ma-reset ang information and you can add new information. So let's see the main dashboard. You can see here the summary, the remaining balance, and other things. So, mura ni siya og e-wallet nga makita nimo ang imuhang remaining balance or the current money that you are having sa imuhang budget or sa imuhang packet. Basically, makita nimo pila gyud ang imuhang kwarta, no? For example, your source of income is employment or salary and your salary is 20,000 pesos per month. So pag i-enter nimo or i-record nimo diri that your salary is 20,000 a month, you can see your remaining balance is 20,000 a month. But of course, kung naanay mga ma-minus nga expenses, makita nimo nga magkagamay po na siya. So why this is good? You can see pila na lang ang imuhang available nga kwarta. Of course, our money is not limited, right? And it's very important for us to see it physically. How much money do we actually have? Because it will help us to make decision whether mopalit pa ba ko ani or dili. Muutang ba ko ani nga amount or dili. We can make decisions, right decisions of our spending if we see actual money in our pocket. So basically, remaining balance will tell you the reality of your finances. Next one, we can see here the total income. Sometimes manggod na atay more than one income. For example, na kay trabaho, na kay side hustles, ug lain pang mga part-time nga gusto ni or gitrabaho nimo. So basically, kung mm, more than one source of income lang, that's really good. And you can see it here po, no, pila ang imong total income that you receive in a month. Next is the total expenses. You know, this is very important. So in the total expenses, makita nato pila gyud ang ato ang expected nga expenses in a month. For example, let's say ang akong expected nga expenses is 10,000 pesos. Kaning 10,000 pesos, it will be for groceries, rent, internet, electricity, and school-based expenses. So ako na siyang gi-expect nga maugid na ang ako ang magasto nga expenses for a month. So makita nato pila gyud. So compare pud nato ba the previous month oy kuan lagi to siya 20,000 ang akong expenses but usually dapat 10,000 na. Makita nato what are your expenses in this month di ay. Basi nag-increase ka sa imong mga eat out, nag-increase ka sa imong mga subscriptions, nag-increase ka sa mga pangpagwapa or other expenses or other types of expenses. Next is the total debt payments. So for this, we can see how much payables or debt payables that you have in a month. For example, naa kay personal loan amounting to 2,000 pesos per month. So makita nimo, na ako'y bayro nun nga 2,000 pesos. I should not forget about it. Another good thing for this is that makita nimo ang imuhang bayro nun, and you can also see, for example, 2,000 pesos in a month, but na kay 500 pesos sa first week. Gusto nimo bayaran datahan ba partial payment. So at least makita nimo kung nag-partial payment kag 500, makita nimo 1,500 na lang. Next makita nimo 1,000 na lang. Hangtod nga ma-full nimo siya in that specific month or in that month. So it will help you track your payables. Next is total savings. I know that it's hard most of the times to really think about savings, but to be honest, this is really important. No matter how small the amount is, at least naagyuday gigahin para sa savings. So at least, for example, first week, naakay nakita nga kwarta. I mean, you earned that money out of something, and then you decide to put 50 pesos for the savings. Of course, i-save gyud na siya ha. At least ba makita nimo, oy kani nga month, at least na day ko na save nga 500, na day ko na save nga 100. Kung 0-0, well, sometimes it's understandable. But at least ba we will be reminded nga wala gyud ay ko'y savings. Unsay akong buhaton para magka-savings ko. Now, let's go to category budgets. So, kaning category budgets, mao na ni ang category sa mga usual nimo nga gahinanan sa imuhang kwarta. Let's say for example, sa ako for example, groceries, mao gid ni ako ang gasto in a month, and usually mag-allocate ko or mo budget ko og 4,000, sagad na ni siya nga budget, 1,000 per week nga grocery. So I'm going to click set category budget. So makita dayon nimo na diri. Okay? Next one, let's say what else? School-based expenses. School-based expenses. Okay, like baon, projects, amutan, pliti, and other things. So for example, 1,500 ang ako ang budget for school-based. So ako po na siyang iset. What else? Butangi po ng personal allowance if you are employed, or let's say you are single, so you have your personal allowance. Let's say ang imong personal allowance is dili lang gid kay dako 800 lang kay nagatipid ka. Okay, so you will see it here. Mauni siya ang imong mga gastuhanan. So you can see here the actual amount nga imong gi-budget. And as you spend under this category, makita pud nimo ang movement. Okay? Let's say for example let's go to the add transaction part. So sa add transaction part, diri na nimo i-add tanan nimong mga in and out sa imuhang kwarta. Okay, for example, salary. Ako ang i-add, i-record na ako nga ang akong salary is, let's say 35,000 pesos. So the source, this is an income. Makita nato diri different big categories. So income ni siya, add transaction. So makita nimo nakadawat na ko sa salary, which is 35,000 pesos. So it will reflect here in the remaining balance. Your remaining balance is 35,000 pesos, and your total income at the moment is 35,000 pesos. Now, kailangan man ka mo palit og grocery. So na kay budget nga 4,000, right? You have already allocated 4,000 pesos for your grocery. Now, nipalit ka og bugas. So you will add a transaction here. For example, rice. Okay, 1 sack of rice. Let's say half lang. 1/2 sack of rice. Very specific, Amount is, I'm not sure how much would that be. So let's say 500 pesos. So what type is this? It is an expense, di ba? Okay, so pag click nimo diha sa expense, makita na nimo ang category. Kaning category mao ni ang imong gihimo nga mga category earlier according to the types of expenses you are going to have for that month. So basically, pwede ka mo ingog uncategorize kung wala kay specific category for that type of expense. Pero sa akong end, for example, 1/2 sack of rice, that is under the grocery. So ako na siya ibutang as grocery and then add transaction. So makita nimo minus 500. Kay gawas man ni siya sa imuhang bulsa or sa imuhang pitaka or sa imuhang bank account. And you will see here, out of 4,000 nga budget nimo sa imuhang grocery, nakuhaan na siya 5,000. Nga sa ato pa, 3,500 na lang ang imuhang budget. So why this is important? Tracking is important. Sometimes ginahuna-huna nato, naapay nabilin, ay basi naa pa. But in the reality, wala na. And that is the start of financial struggle. So, another thing, another point is that makita nimo diri, oy, akong expenses na nasa 500 kani palit ko og bugas. And the remaining balance is now 34,500 tungod kay ni palit man ka og bugas nga 500 pesos. Next, let's say another transaction na pud ko. Let's say nagpalit ko og baon para sa school worth pang 1 week nga baon. Let's say school snack. School's snack. Okay. Amount is, let's say, 100 pesos lang. Dapat 100 na kay biscuit raman. So, category, this is an expense. Category school-based. Okay, add transaction. So, makita nato diri, minus 100. Pagtanaw nimo sa imuhang uh, total expenses, okay na ana 600 and then remaining balance 34,400 na lang. And then ang imuhang school-based expenses 1,500 na lang. Okay, so basically that's how you are going to use it. Now, let's say for example, gusto jud ka mag-savings. Okay? So for example, monthly savings. Monthly savings. Gusto jud ko mag-set aside bisag 500 na lang gyud para sa ako ang savings. Okay? Just put savings and then add transaction. So makita nimo diri savings 500. Okay, so makita nimo diri nga 500 pesos ang imong gibutang sa savings and then ang imong remaining balance is 33,900 pesos na lang. Okay. So, just a disclaimer. This is a tracker. Walay actual money nga mosulod diri because this is just a tracker. So asa man ang imong actual nga kwarta? Of course, in your e-money, in your bank account, or in your wallet. However, this will help you make sure if you are still living under your budget, beyond your budget, or over your budget. Kay ingon ani manggod ang dapat natong buhaton. We should always live within our means. That's correct. But of course, not all the time nga sakto or tama ang kita nato, enough ang kita nato each month. So at least we can see ba unsa gyud ang standing sa ako ang finances. Do I need to cut out expenses? Do I need to improve my income? Do I need to allocate for savings or something like that? Or asa naman ko sa ako mga bayro nun nga utang? So this will help us keep track in a simple way. So again, pag next month na po, just check reset. I mean, go for reset for new month and then confirm. So, mobalik nag 0, 0. And then, if you're going to use it, so you can use it through your laptop, your tablet, or your phone. No need for internet as long as it's already saved. So, it's very convenient to use. Unlike sa mga papel, sometimes it's very, time consuming and a little bit inconvenient to write down all the time. Also, for internet-based applications, manggod, we cannot use it without the internet. The point is, ingon ani manggod, recording should be done right away. Right away nga nag-spend ka. Right away nga nakadawat ka. Right away nga nakaghimo ka og transaction. Kay kung magpaunya-unya manggod ta, the tendency is that we forget to record and we might miss out our expenses and financial recording. So now, this is not internet-based one. Okay? So, masave ni sa storage sa imuhang device. So, meaning to say, with or without internet, you can basically use it. Now, when it comes to storage, ang gamito niya nga storage will be the storage of your device. So, if you are using it, please avoid deleting files in your device, especially ka na ganing mag-reformat or mag-remove og mga SD cards or something like that if gamitonon pa nimo ang details. Kay kung mag-reformat ka, of course, ma-remove ang details, ma-remove pud ni siya if dili nimo i-save. So, I think that's all. And of course, if you have any questions or clarifications, follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And of course, please don't forget to share your feedback, your experiences. Does it help you? Nakatabang ba ni nga monthly budget tracker sa imuha? What do you think about it? And if you have points for improvements, or let's say recommendations for improvement, those are highly appreciated as well. Thank you so much, and I hope that it will help us to track our budget and help us to achieve financial independence in the future. That's all. Thank you so much, and God bless. Bye.